Morning. I'm going to do a reading this morning for all the single people out there. I've been really drawn to doing this reading. Look at this. Okay, so you have here jumping out of the deck the cup of cups. The King of Cups with the Three of Cups. So I feel like it could be possible that you have somebody coming in that is attached to someone else. I always take that into consideration with the Three of Cups, so just be a little cautious. But what it makes me feel like is that somebody is coming in that's going to make your heart sing, like there's going to be so much celebration around this person. I felt it really strongly in the What's Cracking reading this morning, that a water sign was coming towards you, somebody who's going to bring you a lot of happiness and joy. Now, I don't mean they're going to be responsible for your happiness, but they will certainly love and support you to be the best person you can be. So let's have a look. I'm going to use the Tarot of the Golden Wheel here, which is that deck, and we'll see what the spirit is going to tell us. And I feel like, as I said, I was really drawn strongly to this one this morning, so I will be doing the Leo reading after this. Okay, so we have somebody here. Yeah, okay. I feel like somebody's already either about to ask you out, about to communicate with you. If you're online dating, then I feel like just be really conscious that somebody may already be sort of checking you out and ready to make contact with you. I don't mean that in a negative way. So many people talk really negative about online dating, and I know it with myself. Online experience hasn't been a negative experience for me. I've actually had a lot of fun with it along the way, but I found it was good, but I was very, very cautious about online dating, meeting people, getting to know them before, going to not just talking online, making sure I spoke on the phone, knowing who I was talking to. I really understand now with things like video conferencing and things like that, people have that AI stuff going on where they can look like someone else. So, it's really good to do your homework before you sort of meet people in person. And when you do, do it in public. There are some really awful stories out there, but I don't think that they are the worst stories. I think that there are a lot of good stories as well. So there's definitely somebody ready to make contact with you, whether that is online, which often the Page of Swords is for me because it's very much about research. So somebody looks like they're looking for you. The Wheel of Fortune sort of tells me here that this person may already sort of have that inner knowing that they're about to meet you. I often think that when you meet people, sometimes it's almost like you are both ready to sort of move into something new. So it makes me feel like that. There is some sort of ending here, and we do have the Devil card coming through, and that beautiful energy of the Ace of Swords again. Now this very dominant at the moment, the Ace of Swords, and I feel like it is a brand new time, a brand new energy that you're going into. It just makes me feel like somebody already knows they're going to meet you. When you have that feeling, and you can feel the person already in your energy, and you know that they're all around you. And sometimes you can go and get a reading and they will pick up on that too. Very often the signs of the person who's around you, which is really interesting. So I feel like you may already feel that person in your energy. I always say to people, when you're ready for someone to come in your life, make your home ready. So make sure you've got space in your cupboard. Make sure you've got space. You're not, sprawling over the whole bed, that you're conscious that somebody else's energy is all around you. So it's almost like you're recreating or creating, manifesting that energy towards you. Now I feel like here, especially with that Ten of Wands and that Devil card energy coming through, that there may be worries or fears about meeting the right person. Maybe you've been working on that in the last year or so, maybe longer. For some of us, we have these nice extended periods of time where we know we keep sort of meeting the wrong person. So, we extend that time and we do a lot of work on ourselves. And I feel like somehow or another, 4:44 on the clock, somehow or another, this is sort of like the timing is right for the other person too. So it's almost like they're feeling your energy as well. So you may find that it's quite, I must say coincidental because I don't believe in coincidences, but I believe it's like the energy of feeling like you're in the right place at the right time. So it may be, you know, when you do meet someone, um, that the timing for them is particularly relevant to the timing for you. I'm not really sure what Spirit's saying there, but it just feels like somehow or another, maybe this person's only just got online, or maybe this person's, you know, it's the first time that they've tried online dating. Maybe it's the first time they've gone to that place where you're meeting, or maybe it's the first time for both of you to be in a particular place. But it just sort of feels like, I almost want to say advantageous, like it's this energy of somehow doing something that's very different for you, and your person that you're meeting is going to be doing exactly the same thing. So for example, let's just say you're going out to dinner with friends and it's the first time you've gone to a particular restaurant, and then you meet someone and it's the first time they've ever been there as well. It's almost like the planets are just aligned for you at the moment. I do feel like it's a water sign that many of you meeting. Look at this, 4 of Wands straight out the gate. Beautiful. All right, so we have the 9 of Cups, the wish card. There you go. All beautiful. 5 of Pentacles coming through, and that 3 of Cups coming round as well. So if that King of Cups is there, yeah, there he is. So they came out in the reading anyway. I said to you, I really feel like it's a water sign. I do have the 6 of Swords, so it could be possible, and that 5 of Wands coming around. It could be very possible here. The Sun, this is very much like the What's Cracking reading, I have to say. We have the World, Sun and the World, which were the 2 really dominant cards in the What's Cracking reading. And we do have the Hanged Man at the end. So definitely Pisces and Leo energy. So you could be a Pisces or a Leo meeting a water sign. I'm just going to get another card for that Page of Cups. Half these cards came out in the What's Cracking reading, different deck, of course. And if people are doing this at home, you may be getting the same cards. What I feel like here, whoever this person is coming in, it's like both of you may have been very single for a long time, and both of you are not. It's like you know that you're going to meet someone, but you're not expecting to meet them as you do. I feel like this person, I've got this real strong feeling here for some of you. It might just be something as simple as you're going on holidays and you've never been to the place that you're going to before. It's very much that sort of energy of opportunistic energy. I can't quite explain the energy that's coming through, but it's like, as I said, just being in the right place at the right time. But I do feel here that there is this feeling that perhaps you have done a lot of your work last year. So you may have got out of a relationship. It may have taken you that year to heal. You realize that you needed to heal for whatever reason. I know that for some of us, when you keep meeting the same kind of person with a different face, that you start to realize that you've got a pattern, and you know that you need to close that loop before you move on. Or you need to be aware, like I always say to people when I'm coaching, make sure you understand the red flags. Make sure you understand things like love bombing. Understand what people will do to get you to fall in love with them so much more quickly by doing certain things. Be really wary of what narcissistic behavior, you know, it takes into play. Because honestly, if you've had a very traumatic or difficult childhood, you've had parents who've been narcissistic, whether that's covert or overt, controlling, or difficult upbringing, sometimes you can look for love in all the wrong places, Spirit is saying here. But it's not about in all the wrong places, because you're attracted to people who treat you badly because that is what you understood was your love language. So if you've had somebody who treated you really badly but told you they loved you, then you start to think that the only love that you're entitled to is this particular kind of love. So you naturally seek it out. It isn't something we do consciously, it's something we do as a natural progression. We recognize those traits of our own parents in the people that we're meeting. And that can be a difficult thing to break. And we develop things like attachment disorders because of those things. And we don't handle rejection well. We are very emotionally dysregulated because of those upbringings. So we attach to people even when they're cruel to us because we feel that's what love looks like. So it's very intense, but there are a lot of people doing good work on this stuff out there. And of course, for several years, 9 years, whatever it was, I was working on a lot of this stuff myself, trying to understand why it was that I wouldn't pick good relationships, or I would pick people who would treat me very poorly. And they often didn't have, it's not like they understand it themselves either, because then a lot of people, perhaps not so much the really narcissistic people, because they just probably think that it's normal to treat people the way they do. But then I wonder how many parents think it's normal to treat their children that way. But anyway, digressing. So I guess somebody needed to hear that. You've got a wish coming true here. This is somebody walking into your life who's really going to want to have that beautiful commitment with you. This is somebody who's going to love you very, very deeply. But it doesn't mean you don't have to develop good boundaries as well. So that is usually where you're setting down, and I feel like this is about boundaries here. It's where you set the limits for a relationship with someone. Well, not even a relationship, you set the limits for dating. Some people have really, really poor boundaries, let me say. Some people, you can see it as soon as you meet them. They're in your personal space and it makes you feel uncomfortable, or they're over complimenting you, and these are the people who tell you they're in love with you after a week. It just isn't real. And it is a way for people to sort of pull in really vulnerable empathic souls. So if you have already an understanding of your own empathy, if you understand your own vulnerability, then you need to learn how to work with that. And the first thing you need to learn is, where do I put those boundaries? It may be as simple as saying, I only have these days free, so maybe we can do something on those days, or just seeing how somebody treats you. And my biggest thing that I say to people is, if you go out for dinner, drinks, whatever, watch how these people treat the wait staff. It is a really good indication of their deepest, darkest personality traits. That is one of the easiest red flags to find. I was really horrified with a couple of people, how they treated people. And I always talk about that guy who took food off my plate on the first time I met him. Took food off my plate. I'm like, I would have offered it to someone if I'd have known them for a while. I do it all the time. Here, try this. But the fact that somebody did that on a first date was a really big flag. If you're sitting there and saying, what's wrong with that? Then you need to set good boundaries for yourself, because your boundaries are not right. So what I'm saying here is, I guess, whoever this person is, oh God, I look like the person in the advertisement with dandruff. If you are going out on a first date, strong boundaries. I can see this with this Four of Wands. It's sort of saying to me, you need to be clear up front with whoever you're meeting. It is okay to say to someone on the first date, or when you first meet them, what are your intentions going forward? Are you interested in a relationship, or are you just sort of playing the field? And if someone tells you they're playing the field, trust them. Trust them, because a honest response at that point means a lot. So I feel like here that you're going to meet someone, there is a wish being granted, and I feel like somehow or another this is going to be a beautiful relationship for you. So I feel like this person's already knowing you're there. There seems to be this Wheel of Fortune, like something happening out of the blue. I feel like somehow or another this has been working through a lot of stuff, because your background to this Ace of Swords. So for me, that's very much this energy of clearing your energy, clearing your past hurts and pains away before you embark on a new journey. Beautiful reading. Good luck. I feel like I'm talking to a good deal of people for this year. So as always, I say, please let me know. Thank you.